Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, fine.
Okay. Any updates?
Yes, I finally managed to install on the same cluster inside Vagrant, of course, Eclipse Che and Antidote. Yeah.
Okay. Not integrated or anything, but just running on the same Kubernetes cluster.
I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me?
Uh, 3 on 5.
Is that better?
Looks like, or sounds like.
Okay. Okay. So did you hear what I asked? I'm sorry.
No.
I was just curious. So not like integrated or anything, but running the software is running on the same cluster, side by side.
Yes. Same ingress and Multus. So there is nothing integrated, but at least if both can live together on the same host, on the same cluster, I mean, it's promising. There's no showstopper
Okay.
so far.
And then do you have a sense for what it would take to integrate them?
No, not really.
Okay.
I haven't had time to investigate the details of what's inside Che because I was so busy trying to figure out why the ingress wouldn't work, why I couldn't reach everything. And so I tried to document everything and I published my repo. I may try to start again on the current self-medicate repo, but I'm afraid it's too old Kubernetes. So I don't know.
What? I'm sorry. What's too old? What's too old?
Um, I fear there is some incompatibility somewhere between the ingress, or maybe it's just a matter of the setup of the interfaces. I don't know. There are just a few differences between what I tried and what was in self-medicate, but I couldn't isolate exactly the one that was stopping me.
Okay.
Maybe it was the fixed IP range or the fixed IP address for the interface, which is now DHCP, and somehow also the fact that it was bound to ETH1 instead of ETH0, something like that. So it's a bit strange, but that may explain why the ingress wasn't working. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure the ingress controller is listening on any address. I could be wrong, but I don't think that it would matter what IP address or what interface is being used. It's just bound to quad zeros. So I'd be very surprised if the interface IP address had anything to do with what you were seeing.
I don't know, but as a matter of fact, when I try with not so different, but slightly different setup with a more recent version, which is 1.16 instead of 1.14, it's working. So, you know,
Is that a more recent version of Kubernetes or the ingress controller?
Kubernetes and the ingress controller, because the ingress controller by default that is installed by Minikube is probably somehow latest.
Yeah, I would say that's much more likely to be the cause. Because the ingress controller we're using is a couple years old at this point.
Yeah.
Older than the version of Kubernetes that we're using.
Either that, or it's a matter of the Q proxy that manages the IP tables and stuff, or something else. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I I was thinking actually that I might tackle this week the changing self-medicate to run on what? Sorry, somebody just did something extremely stupid on the road. Anyway, uh, I have been thinking about doing something, changing self-medicate to work on the standard ports. Shouldn't be that difficult actually. I just need to open the PR, but I would expect that will land this week because it's not that hard to do. So I might just take that on.
One strange thing I was struggling with is the ingress definition, the ingress resource for anti.web.
Mm-hmm.
No, sorry, anti.core, which wasn't working because apparently everything was redirected on slash instead of using a prefix. So it means that there was apparently a rule that wasn't applied by the older version of ingress controller. And when I'm bumping to a more recent version, this rule applies. And the effect of this rule is that everything is proxied to slash a core. Slash a core is redirected to slash. And there wasn't any way to perform slash x slash whatever lesson. And I wasn't understanding why, but apparently the rule was wrong. So I mentioned that in the discussion. So we'll see. You'll see that, and that's the only showstopper I noticed when I upgraded to 116.
Yeah,
Besides the usual writing of apps slash v1 instead of v1 beta something.
Yeah, all of that is very important to pay attention to. The way that just about everything in the ecosystem works is there are some changes that are designed to not be breaking, but many changes are breaking between versions, and especially if you consider that literally the way that Antidote communicates with Kubernetes is that you vendor a specific version of the source code. It's not even just the API. It's not even just the API. It's a specific version of the actual source code for the client. We literally embed that for that specific version in the code base for Antidote. It's sort of the way
But
that it works.
that
And so
hasn't.
and so when it comes time to using things like this, the version of Kubernetes or even the version of the ingress control, specific version, at least at that point.
I managed to start lab, which was the REST API one, which uses two nodes, two pods, one Linux and one VQFX, and it actually worked. So it seems there's nothing embedded that isn't compatible. It was just a matter of adapting the YAML manifests, and that worked.
Yeah, that's what I mean when I say incompatible. And this is why we can't just use arbitrarily any Kubernetes version we want without significantly updating Antidote. Because some things may work, because again, some things are not breaking changes, but other things are. So it's not a matter of will it work or not. It's is it properly supported across the breadth of the API sort of endpoints and groups.
I haven't tested everything, of course, but I'm fairly confident that the impact couldn't be so big. So, yeah, you can watch. You can have a look at the commits in my repo on GitLab, and you will see that there wasn't so many commits that were necessary.
Okay.
And that's all for my side.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm still working on some other stuff at the moment. Every once in a while, I pop into my GitHub account and take a look at the notifications and answer questions. But largely, I'm working on at the moment. My main focus is empowering others. I've got like I mentioned last week. I've got a few folks that are working that are working on some things related to NRE Labs, the Ansible Tower image as well as the CRPD image. Um, one of the folks that I've been working with has expressed interest in getting more into the actual Antidote core code base. So I have been sort of helping her get started with that, and hopefully she'll have a PR ready to go sometime in the next few weeks to address the issue. Um, I haven't seen anything yet. I pointed her to one of the issues that's on the repo, so we'll see where that goes.
Hmm.
And hopefully they'll be able to join a stand up soon. I've been trying to get them to join the stand up too, and they're not used to doing external things. So we'll see where that goes.
By the way, no, we are just the two of us.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
There's just one PR that you could apply on self-medicate because there was a bug in the Vagrant file. So that would help.
Oh, okay. You want to quickly describe it?
It's the $home variable that isn't supported. You must use a fixed path in the target point of the synced directory for /curriculum, I guess, or not.
Oh.
Anyway,
Oh. Okay.
pretty
That's easy.
trivial, but just the first thing that people will notice when they try self-medicate. So it was a bit annoying, but easy to fix, obviously.
That's fine. I just merged it.
Thanks.
All righty. Thank you so much. We will chat next week.
Yeah. See you. Enjoy
All
the
righty.
ride.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.